begin the toast. Everybody, raise up your glasses and chug it. No, don't just chug it. Don't do that.
Don't tempt me.
Cheers.
Yeah,
To the brotherhood.
that's real profound.
The brotherhood.
Brotherhood.
To brotherhood.
To the bros.
Somebody
Can
take a
somebody
screen
take a
cap.
screenshot?
Both near and far.
You can take a screenshot. All right, I'm gonna take a screenshot of everybody. So be prepared. In 3, 2, 1.
Brotherhood.
There we go.
Yes. Congratulations, one and all, yet again.
Now we're gonna move on to the rows of the Delta Sig. I think Cheta.
I'm
volunteered.
here.
Are you ready, Cheta?
Yeah, I'm
Floor.
ready.
Go, Cheta, go.
I'm just going to the chorus, and if you guys want to join, it's fine.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I have
Mary, don't
voice
shake
to
your
hate
head,
that
Mary.
I'm gonna join
No,
on mute.
no, I'll film
No,
this.
I have a reason, because if we join you, then we can't hear you because we'll break you up.
Hey, Mary,
Yeah.
Right.
good
Gotcha.
idea.
We can
Okay.
sing on mute and then she doesn't get broken up.
There we go.
All
All
That's
right,
where you
cool.
must
Let's
see it
go.
right there.
Singing.
Here we go. Here we go. Rose of Delta Sig, I love you. Rose of Delta Sigma Pi. When the shades of night are falling, I dream of days gone by. As I go through life's long journey, memories will never die. I will always hear you calling, Rose of Delta Sigma Pi.
Congratulations, that was good.
Yay!
That was
Jesus almighty.
Very good.
And I loved how we were all swaying in our own time.
Yes, that was so
Everybody
awesome.
do the
Right
sway. You gotta do the sway.
And that officially
Can I
makes
be
this
the
a
first?
national event. Thank you, Cheta.
Can I be the first to say the first time I heard this song at GCC, the way Cheta did, I thought to myself, did Disney compose that song? Because this fits a Disney movie. If you catch my meaning. Like picture like Sleeping Beauty and that song spring out
Well,
somewhere.
The arrow is right.
There it is. Just so to clarify that.
I can understand that thinking, Bart.
You know.
It's come a long way since I've been working on a railroad. That's how I learned it.
That's how I learned it.
Yeah.
All from on the
That
syllable.
was universal teaching
The
tool.
Marine Corps hymn, yeah.
The railroad days.
I'll never forget the first time I heard it the correct way. And I thought to myself, really? Okay, so that's
Not
not,
sure
how,
what-
that's not how it is in my head.
I had the
Not
same
sure whoever
reaction.
caught on got the words, learn it that way.
See, I don't know if my home chapter still does it, but we did used to sing it at every chapter meeting.
They
before.
definitely don't anymore.
Oh,
Oh man,
All right,
First,
we
start
are.
with
it's fine now,
toast
but
is
I used to
Norm.
have to.
Yeah.
I used to have to do the handshake still. So
The first toast that we have is going to be Norm, and then we have a few others too that have volunteered to say a few things. So without further ado, let's hear from Norm.
All right, well, thank you. And truly humbled. I didn't realize I was going to go first, and I don't know why. Because I'm definitely not the youngest, nor, and thank God on Alumni Day, nor am I the oldest. Mark, Claire, Bill, Mr.
Friend.
Goldblatt. The gray hair here, definitely. helps that. Oh, I'm not going to forget you either, Gail.
Mr. Goldblatt. Whoa.
With the number of people and everybody on, I'll keep it shorter. I am so impressed with FRAC. The ability to pull brothers together in a way that we would have never imagined. So a shout out, it seems appropriate that we're toasting alumni, but the key is, everybody, we don't do this for ourselves. We get together like this so we can allow college students, people interested in the study of business, to get together, whether it's virtually or in person or whatever that may mean going forward. Cheers, and to another 100 years plus of whatever our brotherhood will look like. Thank you all.
Hoorah.
L'chaim.
Cheers.
Well, stay within the same window and you're from Mary.
Oh, Lord. All right, I have not had enough to drink to get all sappy like I was last time. But I will say that most of you, or some of you, know that this fraternity has been what picks me up time and time again. All right, maybe I lied. But it seems like every time I've had a really high up or a really low down, the fraternity has been there for me. So it's kept me balanced. And now I can just say that the fraternity is responsible for normalizing me time and time again.
Well done.
So cheers.
Cheers.
As a follow-up and from the alumni piece, many of you know I have a passion for wine.
Really? Yeah, I've heard
Of course,
yeah.
I've heard it. But we actually spent the last 2 days with a number of winemakers and our friends with wine almost for 48 hours straight. We were,
Which is why we're drinking gin tonight.
experimenting with new wines and all that. So I do have to say, from our alumni perspective, the two people who got me into this the most, Bill and Mark, thank you. You're the guilty parties, and you're the reason I have 1,889 bottles in the cellar as of right now.
My God.
How
And-
many?
We do realize we can help with that.
Oh, I know. And I'm blaming Bill the most. Quite frankly, it's all Bill's fault with a little support from Mark.
Yeah, you could have shipped it
That's
from
what you
Bill.
call it?
for crying out
Yeah.
Bill, you're supposed to go like this.
I told Bill the other day that we finally reached the age where we can't buy wines that need to age for 20 years.
I'm happy to be the best supporting bad actor.
I hadn't thought about that.
Shooting for 1907 or best supporting actor.
No, she said if we start, we have to think about if we're laying down on wines for 20 years now.
Paul hits
Yeah.
the
We've
room.
confused Mary.
We'll be,
I mean,
we'll
you're
be
old, but
close
you're
to
not
80
that
years
old.
old when we're drinking it.
Okay.
At some point, your sense of taste is sort of lost on some of the stuff. So
That's true.
Well, that's a happy thought, Brother Stabelsky. Thank you so much for that. And
Hey,
Yeah, way to
and,
pick up
we
the
thought
mid.
of it. All her fault. She thought of it, but she's got a point.
Hey, I'll do anything to decrease the wine buying in my house. So, you know, whatever.
Bill, how long have you worked
you
for
could try
Hallmark Cards?
moving, because
Yeah.
then you have to like look at all the wine you
All
own
right,
and think
all
about
right,
the fact
y'all.
that someone's going to come and sit and talk to you about
And,
how expensive it's going to be to move all that wine.
and move it properly.
All right,
All
all right.
right.
It's
Let's
Stacy's turn. It's
Claire, we
Stacy's
can
turn.
help with that.
refocus.
Yeah.
So no, I was just letting the wine banter go because I can say Mark got me into Johnny Walker, and I love Johnny Walker Blue. I remember there was an incident. We were in a bar and
Blue?
And-
Oh my goodness.
and-
Okay, wow.
and we did Johnny Walker, and I do remember that. I'm not necessarily a good wine drinker, but I am going to say thank you, FRAC. I've been the beneficiary of a couple of really the opportunity to do some panels and have an opportunity to really do some community service and professional activities and outreach. And it's because of this group of having the things that we have offshooted, ΔΣΠ serves, the Speakers Bureau, and it's really given a lot of us who live in different places an opportunity to interact with our collegiate brothers, just like what Norm was saying earlier. I think that with Alumni Day, I think I put a post out there. Thank you all. I think that really having the opportunity to thank our brothers, because everyone that's on the screen has done their little part to making sure that our collegiate brothers still have the experience of the fraternity, even in the pandemic. So cheers to FRAC and happy Alumni Day.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So thanks, Vito, for the offer to speak tonight. I appreciate it. As I was thinking about what I wanted to say, I was reflecting on about 14 years of engagement in ΔΣΠ myself, and of course years before that, knowing the family was engaged in the fraternity and what it's meant to the Baumers and the Nileses. And one of the things that struck me is, some of us come in as honorary or no, some of us come in as alumni, some of us come in as faculty, and most of us come in as collegiates, but we hope, God willing, that everyone has the opportunity to be an alum of this great organization. And it truly isn't for 4 years. For some of us, it's not ever part of those 4 years, but it is for life. And the opportunity to give back, the opportunity to continue to serve this organization on a daily, weekly, monthly basis is phenomenal. The service that FRAC has given in this last year, ΔΣP serves, ΔSP speakers, the ΔΣP owned, which I know Renee took and ran with as a member of this group. May that service not just take place in a pandemic, but may that service continue. May we continue to move forward the fraternity and continue to make a difference, because it isn't 4 years, it's for life. And I'm so grateful to be an alum and to be part of this and in this till the grave with every single one of you. So cheers, happy Alumni Day.
Cheers. Happy Alumni Day to you.
Oh, thanks, Noel. But I honestly, guys, want to say thank you to you. I think Stacy hit it, Noel hit it as well. I think, you literally were able to bring Delta Sigma Pi, I think, to every college campus here in a way that we haven't really been able to do in the past. I think, Cheta, Stacy, and I were on that call yesterday. They asked us what's alumni life like, and this is it. It's either being in those lead sessions, being at Congress, being in the bar, or just being in our own bars, being able to enjoy it. So I think the fact that you helped us see there's a different way to engage is something I'm thankful for. And from a personal standpoint, when we've asked for help or advice from the, Alumni Development Committee, you guys have always given it and continue to give it. Probably one night gave it a lot more than at other times. So it's appreciated. So I definitely want to thank everyone here for the work that you all do. And a shout out to Deb Lang, who's actually known me since literally day one of my Delta Sigma Pi journey. So thank Deb and thank everyone else in this call who've had a major impact in my life. And I'm glad and I'm proud that we're able to just show this to a new generation, and proud to be a Delta Sig and proud to be on here with you. Thank you.
Well, cheers, Paul. Cheers, everybody. Happy Fracking Alumni Day. It's amazing what FRAC has done to bring brotherhood throughout the pandemic and bring us all closer together and find a way to adapt and erase geographic boundaries and be one of the most inclusive groups that I've ever been a part of. So hopefully this is not the last fracking cheers that we will all do together at some point, but well done, everybody. It's good to see everybody today. And best wishes to everybody, and thanks to everybody that's on the call that has helped me personally and then helped everybody else on the call and been given of themselves without any type of selfish motives. It's great in building a culture of inclusivity across the entire fraternity. So cheers to FRAC, cheers to Delta Sig, cheers to brotherhood.
Following boy is James.
So can you all hear me okay? I got to keep my voice down because of my daughter being right across the hall.
Yep,
and
we hear you.
hopefully she can sleep. But yeah, so I tried to write down a few thoughts and everything like that. I'll keep it quick and I won't stammer on and everything like that. But yeah, to all the alumni here tonight that's gathering wherever they may be, however they're able to do that, whether in person or, meeting up virtually. It's a pretty awesome feeling to know that, we have brothers from across the country that are, here together and spending this time. This past year's really solidified what it means to be a Delta Sig. Obviously, perseverance, adaptability, empathy, to name a few. It's been a lot to handle for a lot of people, but with a little or a lot of help from our brothers, we've been able to continue to look forward for brighter days to come. And hopefully those days will come sooner than later, because you can't give hugs, or more importantly, you can't give the grip through a computer. Yeah, with all the struggles of the past year, it's been great to be able to connect with all of you. Like I said, hopefully we can continue to use what we've learned to stay connected and not have to wait until the next national event to, maintain these relationships as we move forward. And as we've all witnessed, FRAC has allowed brothers to come together in a time that we really needed that extra support, through all their various initiatives and everything like that have really kind of filled the void in those areas that we need it the most. So it's allowed us to strengthen our relationships for those of us that knew each other, and it's also allowed us to make some new relationships out of it. So thank you, FRAC, and thank you everyone for being my brothers, even though I don't drink alcohol. So I'm damn proud to be a Delta Sig, and I love y'all. Cheers.
James, I've been toasting with an empty glass and drinking water, so doing it good, buddy.
There we go.
No, nobody judging on what you're cheering with.
Yeah,
Oh,
no judgment.
Each your own. So I think if I look at the list, I think it's my turn. So, I look at this screen and I'm excited that it takes me two screens. So I have to, flip back and forth. And I see friends. I see friends that I've known for 40 years. I see friends that I've known for just got to know in the last year. And FRAC has been a big part of that. Reconnecting with people that I hadn't seen in a while, who we had experiences with in the past. But that's what our brotherhood's all about. Our brotherhood's about moving forward, and our brotherhood is about staying together. I think Cheta and I have had a couple of offline. So Cheta and I are going to warn you that when we are next together, you're just going to have a giant hug circle. So just be ready. We're all going to have a giant hug circle. I don't know that the hotel's going to know what to do with us, but we're just going to stand in a giant circle, like maybe inside and outside. And we're just going to rotate and just hug the hell out of every single person on this screen, because it is so much about what my Delta Sig experience is, and Mark's as well, is that our Delta Sig experience is about the friendships and the giving back and this knowing that this is the best thing that we did when we were in college. And we want to make sure that we're giving that opportunity to our current collegiate and future collegiate brothers to have that same kind of rich experience that we have. So I want to say thank you, FRAC, for helping me and us reconnect with people we haven't seen in a while, and with helping us stay in touch during what has been a tough year for all of us. But again, I will warn you, watch out. I'm going to be on the hug. And Cheta, you're first in line, and we're going to be on the hug. So proud to be a Delta Sig.
Proud to be a Delta Sig.
Next up is going to be Derek. And Derek, I have a challenge for you. You have to use the word yeet at least once in your toast.
Oh, really? That if I should have seen that coming, I really should have seen that coming. Okay, challenge accepted, no problem. So first of all, good evening, alumni brothers of Delta Sigma Pi. To not try to repeat all the wonderful things that have been said, because I second, third, and fourth all of it. Norm starting this was really appropriate for me for what I was going to say, because 22 years ago, when I was initiated into this great fraternity, Norm was grand president. The first national event that I attended was our Southern Provincial Council. I guess at that point it might have still been called a council. I don't really know what it was called at the time, but it was right as it was transitioning into the ordinance that we have today. And that was my first national event at Delta Sig, where I started to learn that the people that I've been reading about and learning about on my quizzes, they're just brothers, just like the people that are in my chapter. That's all that. And I started to see that when I was there. Not a lot, because I was still a little bit timid. This was my first event. I didn't know people yet, but I was like, okay, this is what it's like to meet people with titles and people that were. But then a few months after that, Wingate University was installing a chapter. And I had the honor to serve on the ritual committee for that installation, in which Norm was serving as the headmaster, and I was the treasurer for that ritual team. And it was in that ceremony, working with Norm and everybody else that was on that team, bringing this new chapter into Delta Sigma Pi, it really where that's kind of the clicking glue that said, look, we are all in this together. It doesn't matter what your title is. It doesn't matter how long you've been here, 2 years, 2 weeks, 20 years, doesn't matter. We have a common purpose and a common goal. And then that summer was when I attended my first grand chapter in Buffalo/Niagara Falls. And I've been to every grand chapter ever since. And I say all of that to say this: on this Alumni Day, 2021, after the year that we've had, after the relationships that we formed, and after everything that we have been through in this fraternity, what the people that are here, and even those that are not here, who we are and what we do continues, not because of some thing that somebody's forcing you to do. This is from the heart. We do this because we love this fraternity. We love each other as brothers, and we want to see this thing move forward. So my toast tonight is to say thank you to all of those on this call, all of those in this fraternity that day in and day out choose to serve, choose to love, choose to do this, not because they feel like they have to, but because they want to. And for that, I will always be grateful. Cheers on this Alumni Day. Thank you, brothers.
Hear, hear.
Cheers.
Again, Derek. Well said.
Yeet.
Oh, yeah, yeet that. Sorry, hashtag yeet that.
I feel like we could have been more creative in the use of the yeet.
Probably, yeah.
Then you can pick it up and do it better, Aaron. Challenge to you.
Right. I guess it's my turn now.
Challenge accepted.
Thankfully, it skipped me. There's no way I can use that word in a speech. Yeah. So as I am sitting on my bed and focusing on graduating soon, I'm thinking back of when I finished with my bachelor degree, and I realized that I was transitioning from a collegiate to an alumni. Now, I knew a bit what an alumni was. I've met a couple of them, I've interacted with them, and I've gotten to know quite a few of them. And that graduation, that moment of transition to the status of alumni, I've told myself that there is plenty of value in DSP, and I will do my best to help and to provide my bit of help and improvement and mark to the fraternity as an alumni. And for the most part, I can say I've done my best. I've attempted to open an alumni chapter in West Palm Beach, and we were not able to get that done in time. I've been a heavy contributor of FRAC and been proudly representing our group of alumni as we go online. When brothers think of alumni, you realize a few things about that particular status. You serve your longest time in DSP as an alumni and not a collegiate. At least that's the hope. Because like it was said earlier, it's not 4 years, it's for life. And as an alumni, you have this personal commitment because you saw what DSP did for you and what it did for others, and you're striving to provide the same, if not a better experience for the new collegiates. You're trying to stay true to the purpose and to the oath you took when you got through initiation. And all of those things and promises and standards that you hold yourself to as an alumni, whether you go the DD or VP route, whether you work at central office, whether you use any other way such as donations to help and contribute, all of those different small little acts that you do, that you volunteer to do, those are all the hallmark of a good alum, a great alum, an alum that everybody would love to meet and interact with and have in their circle of friends. And with FRAC being born out of this pandemic, whatever the change that a fraternity may go through, the commitment of an alumni is the one thing that will never change, no matter the circumstances. So to FRAC, to other great alumni who are in FRAC and not yet in FRAC, I raise my glass and I say, Happy Alumni Day to you from me. And thank you, FRAC, for helping alumni stay close together. Cheers.
Let's hear from Jeanette next.
No, Joe is next.
Oh,
Joe's
Joe,
next.
oh, okay, right. Thanks, Vito.
Okay. Well, I have a toast. Here's to brothers now and past. Here's to brothers old and young. And as we welcome future brothers, let's have patience to learn from each other, to see the best in all. We need to speak wisely and the will to imagine success. We need the freedom to dream. That is what makes up our brotherhood and makes our friendship survive. Here's to Delta Sigma Pi and to FRAC.
Beautiful, Joe, beautiful.
Thank you.
Great job, Brother Goldblatt.
Great job indeed.
That was amazing.
You know what?
Hey, I think everybody said everything. I don't think there's anything else to say because I don't want to repeat nothing.
Let's think to that.
Vito, I'm up. Okay. Ironically, Vito, I'm up. About 20 months ago, I stood next to someone in a bar in Atlanta during GCC. Someone that had doubts about themselves. Someone that wanted so much more from ΔΣP. Thank you for being the glue that held us all together. Thank you for giving us a sense of purpose and belonging. In a time when so many of us were forced to stay at home, you literally gave us a bar where everyone knows our name. Thank you for best exemplifying why ΔΣP is more than 4 years. Thank you for bringing us together again tonight. Thank you, Vito. Cheers.
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 And I know, Vito, you're going to hate me for doing that, but I had to do it.
I love you. That's all I got to say.
Thank you.
And if,
You're up, Jeanette.
I was gonna say, and if I'm reading the list right, I have to follow that. Thanks, Arnell. While I'm having a feeling, I just want to say, I hope as we go forward into what will hopefully be more normal world as we start to leave this pandemic, that we take an opportunity to learn, to think about what lessons we can learn from what we've had to do to survive this last year plus by now. And quite frankly, to stay sane through the process. And I want to say thank you to all of my brothers and my friends, because I can't imagine what my life would have been for the last year without you. Because I've discovered I may be an introvert, but not that much of one. So I just want to take this Alumni Day to say thank you very much for everything you've done to support each other, and everything. I've always known I could count on you even before this last year, but during this last year, I truly felt like we were one team, and we were just all in it to survive and do our best for the collegiates and to see how we can make the world a better place. So here's to brotherhood.
Happy Alumni Day.
Thanks, Jeanette. You're up next, Mark.
Hey, thanks very much. Great to see everybody. Yeah, for me, it's not 4 years, it's 44 years, but for life. What I really want to say thanks to FRAC for is really transcending the geographic boundaries of alumni chapters and just making it possible for brothers from all over the country to get together, to share, ideas, to share thoughts, to just share connection. I really, really appreciate that, because sometimes geographic alumni chapters are just not, well, shall we say, not reaching out and extending to their geographic areas, but FRAC is really doing an amazing job. Claire's been much more active than I have. I'm looking forward to kind of finishing my Rotary responsibilities in the near future. But FRAC, you're doing wonderfully. Thank you so much for what you're doing. And I just want to say a special shout out to my fellow central office staff alumni, because we've had an amazing opportunity to really get to know the fraternity on a different level. I'm always going to be grateful for the 4 years I spent as a central office staff member, because that's how I got to know so many of the wonderful people that are on this call this evening, and continue to have a great friendship and relationship with them. So again, thanks to all of you. Let's stay connected. Let's stay together. But I'm looking forward, as Claire said, to getting together in person as soon as we possibly can. Cheers.
Amen.
Amen.
You're up next, Lynette.
Thank you. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, yes,
Bye-bye.
you can.
All right. I want to ditto everything everyone said before. First, I want to go a little dark. I went dark for a while. I was very involved in the fraternity, and then I pulled away. Then I got back again a little bit, and I pulled away. And then I got back again, and more dark came in a couple times, but I didn't pull away because I saw a brother who was in need, who was facing something more personal than what I was, and I reached out to them. Actually, I tricked them into calling me, and they called me, and then I made them trick them into making promises, because I knew from this person that I watched from afar that their word meant something, that an oath was their bond. It wasn't just a silly thing to go through that you did in college. I pulled out from the dark days because there was a lot of negative at times. I mean, if we don't address the negative in the fraternity, we're losing a lot of good brothers. But I had so much positive with it that I could not let my thumb leave. I always had somebody I was in contact with, connecting to. Thank the good Lord for the ΔΣΠ, because I knew what was happening every quarter, at least from that. And I tried to stay away from the politics, because the politics often brings the negativity and breaks our brotherhood. And the more you try to stay away from it, the more the people try to drag you into it. And then it was enough that for a couple years, or this whole past year, several brothers have reached out to me and said, come to FRAC, come to FRAC. And I was thinking, I cannot take any more politics. I don't want to hear any more of this stuff. But I finally came to FRAC after the female brother factor. And I felt like I did when I had Brother Stabelsky recruit me. I felt like I did when I was working with Norm Kromberg, who was a new leader, just barely out of school, had the aspirations of becoming a leader of the future, maybe grand president, maybe. I felt like I did when I was traveling all over the country and people were saying, do you know you're the first female? And I'm like, am I? I didn't know I was the first female consultant, because to me, I was a brother of ΔΣΠ. I really did know I was the first female, but I took that burden on and I didn't want it to be known as the first female. So to FRAC and to your brothers, I want to say thank you, because when my career ended at the central office and I moved to another part of the country, in another part of the state, I didn't feel as comfortable with my brotherhood again, because again, what Mark had said earlier, I had experienced the brotherhood of the nation, of our fraternity. I was no longer satisfied with the little colloquial of one community or one university. I saw and tasted it all, and I wanted all. And FRAC has allowed that. I'm sorry I didn't jump right back in sooner, but if anyone wants to try to get rid of FRAC, even when we come back to the days of we can be in person, I'm going to be your first one in line to fight you, because not everybody can come in and be there in person. Life gets in the way at times, finances get in the way, but there's no reason our brotherhood and technology should ever get in the way. So thank you for bringing me in, bringing me back, and helping me to recapture that feeling of the brotherhood that brought me back in and first got me to pledge the chapter and the fraternity way back when. So Bill, Norm, all you new brothers, Joe Goldblatt and the people before, thank you and cheers. And I'm proud to be a ΔΣΠ.
Cheers.
Cheers.
If you're not crying, Aaron, it's up to you now.
So many of you who've known me for the last 15 years, that's hard to say, knew that I started in a difficult collegiate situation. We didn't have the best chapter experience. And it was definitely alumni that I met as an collegiate that kept me involved and going around to things and going to lead and realizing that the world of Delta Sig was so much larger outside of, your home chapter, right? So I could never have imagined 15 years ago what I was getting myself into, when I walked up to this information table on campus and was like, I've heard some people talk about this, like maybe I should check that out. But I can say that I can always count on my brothers to yeet me out of the bar when needed, or to yeet me out of my comfort zone for new experiences, or to yeet me across country for fun shenanigans. I'm looking forward to yeeting this pandemic out so that we can all awkwardly hug Cheta in Cleveland next year. Proud to be a Delta Sig and proud to be a member of FRAC. Cheers.
Here's uncomfortably hugging Cheta.
No, and I'm sorry, Aaron, I get to hug Cheta first, so I've already got that first.
First in line, everyone else is behind her.
Yes, Claire's first. It's going to be long and uncomfortably
the rest of you are
awkward.
just going to be there.
Hey, are we gonna have to sign waivers for this?
Right. Right.
Cheta and I are signing no waivers. As soon as we see one another, we're just going to be running.
Listen, I'm just saying, you better get your loved ones, your significant others. I mean, it might get.
Yeah, it might be dangerous.
Yes.
We'll be feeling the feelings.
You're up, Sarah.
So my collegiate experience wasn't the best. It wasn't awful, but it wasn't the best. But I'd been going to Leeds and GCC, and I knew there was something special about the fraternity, but I couldn't pinpoint what it was ever until my past few months with FRAC. I've been able to really understand what's so special about this fraternity and why I've wanted to stay involved. Claire said it best in my first Grand Chapter Congress: brotherhood isn't something you spell, it's something you feel. And I realized I've been feeling it the whole time, going to national events and everything, but it really became my time with FRAC that I understood what that feeling was and what I've been getting out of the organization since joining in college. So I am so thankful that I came. Even better late than never. I'm so glad that I'm here and part of FRAC. I'm so thankful for FRAC for showing me really what is so special about this organization and why I, at this point, hope to never leave. I plan on continuing to be involved, and I understand why I love it so much. And thank you for showing everyone else why our fraternity is so special and why we're all here and brothers. So cheers to FRAC, cheers to Delta Sigma Pi.
So as you know, appreciate every one of you. That my experience in the fraternity over the years has been, I was one of those ones that was almost it was only the 4 years, even though, that even in my collegiate chapter where we said it's not 4 years, it's for life, but my collegiate chapter never did anything national. And I thank goodness for the Chicago alumni chapter of when I was in Chicago and got involved with them, and that they introduced me to the national. But then I ended up, for so many years that I was in what I call an alumni black hole. Now, Molly, Noel, Gail, that you guys are in this, in the same area, and there's more alumni around here, but that was for so many years that I was the only one in the area. And so it was only the national events. And so I'm really appreciative of this last year of, being able to have the opportunity to, be able to do the stuff and see everybody, even though I haven't been on every week. I've been, been inconsistent. but having this, I think, is just, really good for, for those who, in being able to show everybody that, there's different ways to be involved. And I just, I've had a rough couple of years with some things going on, different things going on for me. And just, as far as, everybody that has been, so supportive, of that, I know I can count on my brothers, as far as giving me that lift when I'm down, and, just being there, and just showing that support by being there. So, I just appreciate everyone, and proud to be about Delta Sig.
Cheers.
My toast is going to be short and sweet. It's going to be to old friends and new friends, and to always having each other's backs. Cheers.
Cheers.
I think I'm up next. I can't follow that, crying out loud. But what I can do is pull a common thread, see what I've noticed through Delta SIGs. I want to say right now, 39 years ago today, I didn't even know what Delta SIG was. 6 months after that, one of the gentlemen sitting us in the room here, Mark Roberts, met a lady by the name of Ray Fritz, who was a collegiate at Clemson, and put together the interest group that became the group of which I was a part of to form the Kappa Tau chapter. And you look back and you realize Delta SIGs, almost to a person, are those people who see an issue and are willing to rise to a challenge. The 4 founders were excluded from an organization and basically did what the founder of IBM said, watch this, and went off and created an organization all on its own. That came to be kind of what we did, because not only did Chuck Eaton and Mark give us a challenge, we had less than a year to the next Grand Chapter Congress, and they said, can you folks put this chapter together by then? And Clemson Tigers never been one to not be concerned with, challenge accepted, and we did it. And that brings us to this group. We've been meeting a challenge this last year and a half, where not only were we in a nation, but as a group of people, we found, or should I say Vito and some of the others, Wesley and some of the others, said, here's something that we need, and here's what we're going to do it. And it is now recognized as a resource fraternally wide. And I do believe that this is the way that we're going to go forward. Folks, I am so very proud to be associated with all of you. Cheers.
Sure.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, you're in baby.
Hey, Keith, I really appreciate that. I still remember so fondly helping to get Kappa Tau chapter activated. And what was really neat was the Beta Gamma chapter at South Carolina was, your intrastate rival was so actively involved in helping get a chapter started at the other major university in your state. And that was so heartening. And it was just so much fun for me. And it's so great to hear from you. Thank you for sharing a really, really special memory. Ray Fritz is a name I will always remember. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So Vito has asked that, we contribute. And so I'll sort of echo many of what others have said. But the thing about FRAC is that it gives everyone a chance to show their commitment and their engagement and their enthusiasm for the fraternity, and give us all an outlet for our ability and opportunity to contribute. And I'll call out Claire and Joe and Lynette as people who continued over the course of my career as a Delta Sig to bolster my enthusiasm and help me build that long-term commitment that keeps me going today. So cheers to Delta Sig for the lifelong commitment demonstrated by our brothers.
So I didn't really have anything specific to say when we started, but the thought that kind of has gelled in my mind just hearing everybody talk is that FRAC matters. That's what I really came to get from this, is that FRAC matters. It started out as something for people to hang out on a Friday night that didn't have anything else to do, that were stuck at home. And it came to be something that mattered to them on Friday night. And it has come to be something that matters to the fraternity, which is amazing to me. And it's not just these friendships. I mean, this is a thing that grew out of just kind of a casual social conversation. And it matters when people need speakers, that they can put something into DSP speakers, which FRAC created. And we've had incredible number of people on this screen and others that have been able to help all these chapters with the benefit of their personal, professional, and fraternal wisdom. Our programs that we put on, our alumni program, our women program, I mean, these things are amazing and they matter. And it just blows me away that something that just started as kind of a casual thing has come to be something that matters. So that's kind of what I take away from all this, and that it matters to me. I'll tell you that it matters to me. So thank you all so much. And I can't wait to see some of you I know in person and see so many of you that I've met in person. So cheers and thank you.
Cheers.
Well, thank you, everybody. Does anyone else want to say something before we end our formal programming, aka the recording?
I'll say a few words. I guess what's kind of interesting here is you got a lot of variety of people, and it's amazing how we've connected, reconnected through FRAC, but many of us have had various connections over time. And at the when we first met, it might have seemed just kind of casual or maybe insignificant moments, but as it turns out over time, becomes much larger in the grand scheme of things. I look at this group of people today, and I see several people from the Lambda Tau chapter, for example, and and knowing that through interactions that I've met various people that I was fortunate to get involved when we formulated Lambda Tau chapter, and then with Karen, in St. Louis, when we're doing stuff in St. Louis, and other people across the nation. It's amazing how a simple, like you said, might have seemed insignificant at the time, but became something big. I remember, whether it's when I first found out about the fraternity, a couple guys in my class sat next to me. They survived. We had hell weekend, so they survived. And maybe fraternity. Yeah, maybe I should give this some consideration. And then eventually I did, and get a chance to know people in Chicago like Jim Prescott and Tony Fernandez, who were very influential and me being involved not only at a local level but on a national level. And hearing Cheta sing The Rose today, and I remember my first Congress. Tony sang that for a number of Congresses prior when he was living. Obviously, different style, but again, the first time, when people talk about the first time they ever heard it correctly, that's when I heard it first correctly down in Land in 1979, and coming out of Tony, and he's local guy. What a voice, and quite amazing. And I also, and there, Tony's not around anymore, and there's other people that are not around that had a lot of influence on us. I like to point out one other individual who I had an opportunity spend time with, and it's actually I met him casually in '81 at Mackinac, only because I met one of the brothers from his chapter prior, Danny Ford, up I met him at the Congress in '79, and that's how I met up with Nick in '81. And then with Steinkraus, we did all that work in the Boston area, getting the alumni chapter together, working on the Land of Town chapter and Gamma. And then after some of us left town, Nick took on that role to get all these other chapters, which created the whole racing stuff. Like have a toast to those situations that you think, well, it's just maybe an insignificant moment, but becomes very significant. And those that have been in the past and helped us to get to where we need to go, not realizing the importance of those moments.
Okay, I guess I'm up. Just want to basically, just about everyone who's spoken basically said kind of what I want to say. So I'll just keep it short and sweet and say that this has really helped me get through the last year. And I just celebrated 9 years as a Delta Sig. And because I didn't join till my second time through college. And it was getting to know all these people and going to the events every 2 years, hopefully, and getting to see everyone again. And I'm also an introvert, so it's hard for me to meet people. So having this thing that I can just step up to someone and know we have this common bond between us, just makes it easier to say, all right, you're my brother, no matter what, we've all been through this. We have this common purpose, this common goal. And it's just helped me make friends, and especially helped me when I moved to Atlanta and I didn't really know anyone. But even the night I came up for my interview, the alumni chapter up here was having a meeting. And so all of a sudden there were 4 people here that I had met through previous GCC. So it's just, thank you then for this past year, helping keep us all sane throughout the insanity that the past year has been. And so it's been thanks and cheers, and to another 115 years.
Cheers. Hey, Cody, did you want to say something before I wrap it up?
The only thing that I have to say is basically what everybody else has said, and how FRAC has been a very good outlet too to continue serving in our current capacities. So cheers to all of that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Well, I guess thanks everybody for coming out tonight, and thanks for being in my life. You guys are amazing folks, and I'm blessed to see how much FRAC has had a positive impact on you guys. And cheers to Alumni Day, cheers to FRAC, cheers to our brotherhood, and cheers to surviving another 34-hour FRAC freaking marathon, Cody. So cheers to us and the brothers like.
Cheers to you, Vito. Cheers to you, and cheers to Vito. Cheers to Vito.
Cheers, Vito.
Please stop this recording before y'all do anything else.
Okay, Vito.
Yeah, Vito.
Saw that coming.
Yeah, y'all know better.
I think we need to make sure we see Cody dancing out tonight.
Well, wait, guys. I guess in true FRAC form, like the Founders Day Marathon. So we going on hiatus next month, right? That's what we doing.
Not
you trying to get hurt for real?
Yes, y'all want to say something.
Yeah, we can run it without you.
Yeah, we can. We'll step in. We'll be willing to step up.
Hey, no, I said it I said it at the end of the Founders Day toast, so I thought I said it again. Tradition,
It's